Okay, good evening to one and all. Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Good evening to one and all. Kindly give me a confirmation if you guys can hear me. Yes or no? Can you guys hear me? Yes or no? Come on, give me a confirmation, please. Awesome. Okay, so good evening to one and all, and welcome to the last day of this boot camp. Okay, so far we have covered a lot of things. We have started with Python on day first, and then we have consumed 3 days to learn Python. We have learned about the introduction of Python. We have understood how Python has been created and built, and what major role that Python plays in the field of data, right? And we have also understood about data, where the data come from, how what exactly is the business model of the company, and how the company uses the data to generate revenue, right? After that, we have dive into the core concept of Python, where we have understood about the how to create what are the data types. Data, right? We are getting the data, so we have to mark a specific data with the proper data type. So we have understood that as well. Apart from that, we have talked about data structures. We have understood what are the different data structures, but before that we have talked about variables, and we have talked about how many data types have talked about. Anyone? How many data types so far we have talked about? Anyone? How many data types have we talked about so far? Anyone? Come on. Anyone? Come on, guys. Tell me. String, float, and okay, we have talked about 4 data types. Okay. Someone is saying we have talked about 5 data types. Come on, can you guys name them? Can you guys name them, please? Can anyone name them? Yes or no? Okay, we have integer. Okay, then integer, float, boolean, and string. Exactly. So we have talked about 4 data type. I believe I have given you a glimpse about complex number as well, right? So we have string, we have integer, we have float, right? So these are the 4 data types that we have talked, and data types is really important whenever you start working with the data, right? Whenever you work with the data, you have to make sure that the particular data should be having the correct data type, right? If it is not having so, then it will going to cause problem while you will going to process that out, and while you are going to create while you are going to clean your data set, right? And then we have talked about dictionaries, dictionary tuples, and list are the data structures, right? And we have also talked about sets as well, right? Apart from that, we have talked about the uh, what we have talked about. We have talked about conditional statement, if, else, and elif, and then after that, we have talked about the loops. How many type of loops we have seen so far? Anyone? How many loops do we have in Python? Anyone? How many loops do we have? Anyone? Come on. While and for loop, exactly. So we have 2 kinds of loop. One is your for loop and another is your while loop, right? We use for loop when we know how many times we have to make our, how many times you have to run our loop, right? And while loop, it will going to run until and unless a condition becomes false, right? As soon as the condition will going to become false, our while loop will going to stop. Okay, that's the difference between these two. After that, we have jumped to the machine learning concept, and in machine learning, I understood what is machine learning, types of machine learning, how to use machine learning, and why to use machine learning. Currently, why machine learning has a huge scope, right? Due to the rising data. Apart from that, we have talked about supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. In supervised learning, we have seen 2 kinds of data machine learning. One is your regression, and another is your classification, right? And after learning about that, we have also seen in unsupervised learning, we have another 2 type. One is your association, and another is your clustering, right? And in your regression part, there are some kind of algorithms such as linear regression. Linear regression contains a simple linear regression, multiple linear regression, and a poly polynomial linear regression. Apart from that, we have SVR, that is a support vector regressor. Then we have random forest regressor and the decision tree regressor in the regression part. When we talk about classification, we have k-mean cluster. We have KNN, that is your k nearest neighbor. Then we have logistic regression. We have random forest classifier. We have support vector classifier, and we have decision tree classifier. Right. When we talk about clustering, we are having k-mean clustering. We have hierarchical clustering. We have DB scan, and so on and so forth. And when we talk about association has some of the algorithms such as a priori and eclipse, right? So we have also seen that whenever we are getting a data, if that data is having a target variable, we are going to consider it as a supervised learning, right? And if your data doesn't have any target variable, we are going to go with unsupervised learning, right? Now, if the data has, if our data has, a target variable, then you have to go with supervised learning, and again you have to check what are the values that has been contained in the in that target variable, right? If those values are continuous, then you have to go with regression. If those values are in the form of categorical, then you have to go with classification, right? So we have talked about all these things, and then after we have talked about linear regression. We have looked on one of the machine learning model, linear regression. We have seen how exactly it works. And can you guys write the formula? What is the mathematical formula on which linear regression is based on? Can you one write on this, please? What is the mathematical formula on which linear regression based on? Anyone? Can you guys write on the chat section, please? Let's see who remembers that. Anyone? Y equals to mx plus c. Very good. So over here, y is the independent variable or dependent variable? Come on. Is y the independent variable or the dependent variable? Come on, tell me. Is y the independent variable or the dependent variable? The y is the dependent variable. Excellent. Okay. Over here, y is the your dependent variable, and x is your independent variable. M over here is your slope, and c is your constant, that is known as your intercept, right? So whenever we give our data to our machine learning model, it tries to find out the value of m and c, right? And it tries to find the nearest value that is that is nearer to the actual value, right? And if we have known about those value, we can easily go on and find out our particular value of dependent variable, right? Then we have talked about the implementation, practical implementation, right? Why is your dependent variable? Why is your dependent? Why is not independent? X is your independent, y is your dependent. Okay, y is your output, y is your target variable, whereas x is your feature, and that is the input. So y is your dependent and x is your independent. I hope this is clear to all of you. Yes or no? Kindly give me a confirmation, please. Is it clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Then we have looked on the practical implementation, how exactly we start with the machine learning. We have seen, first of all, you have to import some of the packages, right? So over here, if we go, you can see we have started out by importing some of the packages and libraries and all that, right? Then after that, we have talked about how to import the data set, and then you have to perform some of the data analysis that we have done. After providing the analysis, you need to split your data set into two half, right? And before that, try to create two individual variables such as x and y, in which x you will going to put your all your features, and y you will going to put all your target variables, right? After that, you will going to split those. You will going to use train test split, so that you will going to split two into the data set into two half. One is your testing data set, another is your training set, right? Then you will going to create the model instance, and then after model instance, you will going to fit your model. Okay, you will going to fit your model. You will going to give the particular training data set to the model, so it will going to get it trained. After that, you will be getting the intercept and coefficient. And if you want to check your value, you can start by using the prediction by using the x underscore testing data set. And whatever data set you will be getting, you can go on and check with any kind of matrices to check the accuracy of the model. In our case, we will be receiving 98%. Right now, what happened is, we have taken our data set, we are done with our model. So now we have pickled our model, we have dumped our model, and we have taken that to our VS Code, that is our development server. In that development, we have used Flask. So in that Flask, we have designed our backend, we have designed our front end, so that we can easily communicate between these two, so that data can be sent from backend to front end and can be received from front end to backend, right? Then we have, when we are done with that, we have used Flask, and after that we have seen how to deploy it on Heroku, right? Yes or no? And this is our Flask app that is still deployed on Heroku. If you anyone wants to check, they can easily go on to this site and they can check this as well. Till here, this is clear. This was the entire revision of this entire week. Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So now today, now I am going to tell you what you need to do about the project. Okay, today you have to do a project. Today I'm going to tell you what exactly needs to be done, and you will be getting a week time to submit your project. Okay, you will be getting a week time to submit your project. Okay, I will be providing you a data set, and what exactly is that data set and how you have to do the project, I'm going to tell you. So tell me that till here, is it clear, everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear? Till here, is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Perfect. So now see this. This is our data set. Okay, this is a housing data set actually, right? So over here you can see, let me maximize the size. So over here, this is the housing data set. And over here we are having certain columns. We have prices, area, bedroom, bathroom. This is a housing data set, right? So over here, if I ask you, if you see over here, we have different column. So in this column, if I ask you, which of the column can you consider as your target variable? Anyone? Will it be price, area, bathroom, bedroom, stories, main road, guest room, basement, hot water, heating, air conditioning, parking, preface, or furnishing status? Exactly, it will be your price, right? So over here, based on all this feature, you will going to predict your price. Yes or no? Based on all the features over here, because area of a house decides the price. How many bathrooms or bedrooms it will going to have, it will going to decide the price. How many stories a house will going to have, it will going to impact the price, right? Exactly, but your price will not going to impact that how many bedrooms or how many bathrooms you will going to get, right? However, the number of uh, bathrooms and bedrooms will going to impact the price. So you need to find out the price. You have to train all these features. So this is an example of a multiple linear regression. Okay, the example that we have solved was a single linear regression, because there we are only having a single feature. Over here we have multiple feature, right? So in the entire process will remain be the same. Over here you have having multiple feature. This is known as a multiple linear regression. So you have to clean the data. Over here you can see we have number, but in these in these value you can see we are having yes and no, right? That are particularly a string. So machine learning will not going to take a string. Machine learning will not going to take a string. It will only going to take numbers. So you need to find out the way so that convert you can convert all these categorical data into the numerical data, okay, without losing its meaning. You have to convert all this categorical data into the numerical data, so that they will not going to lose their meaning. Yes, you can go ahead with 1 and 0. You can assign yes to 1 and no to 0. You can go ahead with that as well. In that way, what will going to happen, the meaning will be preserved, okay, but the data will be in a numerical form. Similarly, over here you can see we have this furnishing status, whether it's a full furnished house, it is a semi furnished house, or it is an unfurnished house. So similar over here as well, you have to set your data, right? You have to convert this data into the numerical form. Now when you are done with this, now you have to find out is there any null value or not. If there is any null value, then you can go, you can perform feature scaling if you want to do, right? You can go ahead with that. Okay, till here is this clear? Okay, so after that you have to perform the analysis, because there might happen that there will be some data that is your null data. That means you don't have that data over here, so then you have to take the decision what accurate value you have to provide, right? What accurate value you have to provide over here. Okay, then when you are done with this, when you are perfectly fine and you are done with this, then you have to pickle your model. Take your model and start in your development server. Then you can create a website like we have done yesterday. The user will going to come up over here. We have assigned only a text box, right? We have assigned a text box over here. So what you can do over here, what I want you all to do over here, in the area it will going to take text box for bathrooms, for bedrooms, bathrooms, stories, main road, guest room, basement, hot watering, air conditioning, park, preface and furnishing status. I want all of you to provide a drop down menu. I want all of you to provide a drop down menu. Don't provide the text. I don't want you to provide this text box. This text box will only be going to provide it for the variable area where you have to give your area. Okay, but over here for each of these variables, I want you all to create a drop down. Okay, you need to learn how to create a drop down in your HTML. So when you are having a drop down, it will going to look like this. Let's suppose this is your drop down. Okay, and user will going to come up and click on this. As soon as the user will going to click on this, you will be getting all the option, whether it will be your one, it will be your two, and so on and so forth. This thing needs to be done for all the variables except the area. For area variable, I want the text box. I want the text box. Okay, after that you need to click on, you should be having a submit button. As soon as the user will going to click on submit, right, then you have to give me the output. And now if the user will going to give a false input, let's suppose user is not providing any input or they are providing any false input, let's say like this. As soon as they will going to click on this submit button, you have to show the error that this is your invalid input. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Over here, this is entirely be done with linear regression, not classification, guys, because over here the target variable is not in a form of categorical. They're in a form of the continuous manner, continuous and discrete manner. See, Django is a heavy application, right? So kindly go with Flask for this. If you're going to go with Django, your application size is going to increase. That's it. Let me tell you again. Let me tell you once more again. Kindly listen very carefully. This is your data set. In this data set, your price column will going to act as a target variable. That means you need to predict the price based on all these features, based on the area, bedrooms, and so on and so forth, right? So yesterday, what we have done is over here we have created a text box for the temperature, right? I want all of you to create the text box only for the area variable, right? For the other variables, bedroom, bathroom, stories, and all these variables, I need you all to create a drop down. Over here, you will going to have a drop down. As soon as the user will going to click on this drop down, you will going to show them the options that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. So from there, they will going to choose it. And as soon as they will going to click on this submit button, okay, as soon as they will going to click on the submit button, you will going to show the output, the price, like we have done. Yes, like this message, right? So you're going to say price of the house is something and something. Now if the user will going to provide a false data, in such a case, let's say the user providing a false data, then you have to provide a message invalid input. You have to use the exception handling as well. Okay, so you need to clean this data, and then you have to see what exactly is your accuracy of this model that is being coming from, right? If you want to perform, if you want to perform this analysis on your local system, you can go ahead with that as well to create the, to pickle the model. Or if you want to go ahead with your Jupyter notebook or Google Colab, then you can go ahead with that as well. Okay, you need to host this on a Heroku or any other platform, any cloud platform. Okay, any cloud platform that you are comfortable with, not an issue. Okay, you need to provide the submit button, right? As soon as the user is going to click on submit, then only you are going to provide the response, right? It's totally up to you how you want to design the front end. It's totally up to you. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Kindly give me a confirmation, please. Okay, perfect. So I will be sharing all the data sets that we have used and this data and the form that needs to be shared among all of you. Now see, the form looks like this. This is a form. Okay, so over here you need to provide your full name, you need to provide your phone number, and then you need to provide your Google Colab link. And make sure whenever you are sharing your Google Colab link, over here you can see we have this share button, right? We have a share button over here. Click on the share button and make sure that as soon as no, you copy your link, kindly change this general access from restricted to anyone with the link. If it's still in restricted, we won't be able to rectify your work, right? So kindly change this to anyone with the link, please. Okay, kindly change this to anyone with the link, then copy the link and then paste your link over here. Let me create one more section, that is your application, web application URL. Your web application URL, you need to provide your web application URL, and let me mark this to mandatory, right? So these are all the 4 fields you need to submit within a week. These are all the 4 fields you need to submit within a week. Is this clear to all of you? No, you don't need to change it to editor. You just have to go with viewer. Don't change that to editor, please. Change that to viewer only. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? Okay. So am I audible? Guys, am I audible right now? Am I audible right now? Kindly give me a confirmation, please. Perfect. So what I was saying is that I have clubbed all the link because I can only send one link at a time, right? So if I'm going to do that, I have to repeat myself, right? So what I have done is I have clubbed all the URLs and all the links of all the resources that we have used, right? So over here you have your day 7 attendance, you have all the Jamboard that we have used, you have your ice cream data set, and you have your project data set and your project submission form. So I will be sharing you the collab file. I'll be sharing the collab file. Kindly go to the bottom of this collab file and you will going to find out all the resources. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Kindly give me a confirmation, please. Okay. I have already provided you the housing data set. Over here it's written project data set. Okay, don't get yourself confused. Is that clear? Perfect. So before if you're using Jupyter Notebook, kindly upload this in your let's say in your Google Drive and share those links. But make sure that you will going to change the access to viewer. not restricted. If it's on restricted, we are not going to check that, right? It should be in viewer. Okay, perfect. So before sending you this URL, let me final time. Let me go through the our website. So over here, we've already talked about our website. That if you want any kind of resources, we have a lot of resources. You can click on these courses. We have self-paced courses. You can go with data structures and algorithm if you want to, and you can go with C++ as well, right? And over here we have launched a new section known as DevTown Bytes. If you click on that, over here we have different section for the roadmaps, cheat sheet, videos, and blogs, and this is absolutely free of cost, guys, right? If you want to check for the roadmap, like if you want to become a full stack developer or a backend developer, you can go on to the roadmap section. You can click on or any other topic that interests you, and you can watch all the our session how exactly you can go ahead with that, right? Then we have a cheat sheets. Okay, if you want to practice more, then we have some videos for you guys, and we have some blogs for you guys, so you can keep on learning, and you can carry on your learning that as well, right? But we do have two courses as well. We have two courses, industrial training program, that is our internships, right? So we provide 3 months courses in your 3 month industrial internship in full stack web development part and the data science part, right? If you're interested in full stack, you can go ahead and check all the contents of full stack part. If you're interested for data science, you can go ahead and you can check that, right? Both of the courses will be of 3 months, right? Both of the courses will be of 3 months. You don't need to require any knowledge. You don't need to require any basic knowledge, because we are going to start from very scratch. Okay, so we are going to cover a lot of things. We are going to talk about we are going to emphasize on each topic more, and we are going to understand what are different tools that we are going to need to become a data scientist, right? So over here there are some of the instructors that we're going to teach you your session. So over here all the instructors are from a prestigious company and organization, so their knowledge will going to definitely going to benefit you, right? So over here what you will going to get is, yeah, it will going to be a live classes plus live doubt session as well. Okay, like suppose it won't be a recorded session. The instructor will going to talk about, will going to take the session. If you have any doubt, you can ask the instructor about the doubt instantaneously, right? You can easily communicate with the mentor and instructor if you face any kind of issue. That's the best part about this internship. Apart from that, if you purchase the course, you will be getting 3 courses at free of cost. That will be your complimentary course. Okay, that will be a complimentary course. It will be your DSA and cybersecurity. If you're opting for data scientist course, then you will be getting full stack web development, and if you're opting for full stack web development, you will be getting data scientist, right? If you want to join it, then you can contact the team. They have a lot of scholarships, and they do have a lot of discounts and all that. You can contact that as well. So current anyone who is who is going through this boot camp, they will be going to get discount, right? So over here the price of this is actually 20K, but we have sorted this out to 10,000K, right? But since you all are coming from this boot camp, then kindly refer to the team if you're interested in this session. You will be getting an additional discounts and scholarship as well, right? So over here you will be having all these data structures and all these uh, topics that we will going to discuss about in data structures as well. Okay, so you can not check out the syllabus. You can come up and you can download the syllabus and you can check out the syllabus. If you feel satisfied, kindly try to enroll in this session. Okay, and definitely it will going to be worth it. It will going to add a lot of value into your career. Okay, then we are going to talk about the Python, because Python is very important, right? In order to machine learning and data analysis or deep learning or any kind of data science technology, you first need to understand about the programming language, right? We are going to emphasize on this Python programming language. We are going to talk about each and every topic very precisely. So over here you can see we will also going to talk about the object oriented programming, the concept that we have used to create the entire software, right? So we're going to talk about that as well, right? After that you have the data analysis part. In data analysis we are going to talk about the in-depth knowledge about NumPy, Pandas, Matplot, and Seaborn. We are going to talk about the statistics as well. As I have already told you that machine learning is majorly about statistics and mathematics, right? If you don't know coding, if you're not from a technical background, if you don't have a particular degree or technical degree, it's absolutely fine, but you need to have a knowledge about mathematics, right? So don't worry, we are going to train you in that as well. We are going to touch each of the concept that will be prove beneficial in while doing machine learning and deep learning. Like we have used linear regression, right? In that we have seen the y equals to mx plus c has been used, and what exactly is the backend and all that, we are going to discuss each and everything over here. Apart from that, we are going to talk about the database as well, because database is also a source where the data is going to come from, right? So we're going to talk about database as well, and we are going to perform all the operations from the basic to advanced level, because whenever you go in any interview, they will going to 100% gonna ask you about the database questions. They will 100% gonna ask you about database question, right? So we're going to tackle all the question, and we're going to touch the advanced concept of database as well. There's some other concept about data, that is how you're going to gather your data, how you're going to assess your data, you will going to clean your data. There are different formats of data, we're going to tell you about that as well, and how you can perform data analysis and machine learning with the live data with the help of beautiful soup and web scraping. We're going to talk about that as well, and how to maintain the data quality, we're going to talk about that as well, right? Then we are going to jump toward the machine learning. So over here you can see, currently we have only talked about simple linear regression, right? In this entire session, these all are the algorithms that you will be, that we are going to talk about. Okay, these are all the algorithms that you guys will going to get mastering, right? And the major ones are the supply and eclipse and clustering and all that, because they helps a lot in the business part, right? It will going to help out the organization to understand about the customer and the behavior of the customer, right? Then we have decision tree. Decision tree has been widely being used for the loan prediction, right? Whether to provide a loan to a particular user or not, right? So we use a decision tree for that. And more powerful to decision tree, we have random forest. We are going to talk about random forest as well, right? Okay, after that we are done with machine learning. We are going to expand our knowledge. We are going towards the deep learning. In deep learning, we're going to talk about the ANN, CNN, and RNN. In CNN, we're going to see how exactly you can work with media data. If you heard about Tesla cars or Google lenses and all that, they use a CNN to perform such tasks. So we're going to understand that as well. Then we are going to perform the natural language processing that falls under the RNN, so that you can get an idea how exactly Siri and all the Google assistants and Alexa has been created. Then after that, we're going to talk about autoencoders and GAN. This is very, very important. You must have heard about the technology known as deep fake. Ever heard about the technology deep fake, where you superimpose a person's image into some other video, right? And it looks like that the person is real, and it is there's no they're speaking in reality, and their mouth is syncing along with the voice, right? So we are going to talk about that as well in auto encoders and GANs. After that, these are some of the project that has been mentioned over here. These are some of the project that has been mentioned over here. We are going to build during our entire session. Okay, these are some of the technologies that you will going to get your hands on. The available batch is your September 1st. Okay, so 15th of September is already full. So we have the available batch as September 1st. So if you are interested, you can go ahead and enroll in this session. And apart from that, after learning, after 3-month courses, we are going to have another session for career counseling. We are going to have a career counseling session as well, where we are going to make you job ready, where we are going to teach you how to create a resume, what to add, what not to add. We're going to talk about Git and GitHub. Git and GitHub is must, okay? Because whenever yesterday as well, we have seen, if I am making a change in my local, I want to post that changes on my server, so I have to use Git and GitHub, right? So we are going to talk about Git and GitHub as well. We are going to talk about your LinkedIn profiling, how to create a LinkedIn profile, what to add, what not to add, and how to make it interactive. Apart from that, we are going to talk about some mock interview question as well. So it will going to help you out to tackle all these interviews, right? And you will be getting all the certificates, industrial certificates, and letter of recommendation. Letter of recommendation plays a very vital role in your resume. If you're providing LOR on your resume, it will going to have a high weightage. Okay, and after that, there are some, if you have some questions regarding any kind of sessions and all that, you can either contact the team, or you can connect them on Discord, you can connect them on WhatsApp or Telegram. Then you can connect, you have some frequently asked question, you can go ahead and check those out as well. But if you're interested in full stack development courses, you can go ahead and check that as well. Okay, so only those students who are coming from this boot camp, right? You need to tell the uh, team that you're coming from this boot camp, then only you will be getting a high discount and scholarship, right? Otherwise the price will remain be the same. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? So let me put this URL on the chat section so that if anyone is interested in that, you can go ahead and check this out. Is this clear? Is this clear? Perfect. Awesome. So now I'll be sharing with you the URL. Let me copy this and paste this over here. Let me now am I audible? Yes or no? Now am I audible? Yes or no? Okay, so I was telling you that when I'm going to share you this entire Google collab, right? Don't try to start working on the same collab, otherwise your work will going to get removed automatically, right? So what you need to do is go on to this file section. Now click on this part where it states save a copy in drive. So you need to create a copy in your drive and work on the copy part, right? Don't try to add anything in this collab file, or don't try to work on this collab file, otherwise we're going to get removed because it will be similar for everyone. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Kindly give me a confirmation, please. Is this clear, everyone? Sharing the URL with you, and kindly make sure you change this from restricted to anyone with the link. Okay, you can use PyCharm as well, don't worry. You can use PyCharm, you can use VS Code. It's totally up to you, it's totally up to your preference. Okay, so here you go. Is this clear, everyone? If you have any doubt, kindly ask. If you have any doubt, kindly ask. I believe that link is working for everyone. Yes or no? I believe link is working for everyone. Yes or no? Okay. I've already told you, doesn't matter if you're using PyCharm or VS Code. Doesn't matter. We are not asking for your development codes. We are not asking for your development code. We are only asking for your model code. We are asking till here. Till here we are asking. Right? Till here you need to perform on your VS Code. Sorry, on your Google Colab and send this file to us. That's it. We don't want your anything that needs to be done on PyCharm or VS Code. Already sent you the link. Let me send you the link again. Exactly. First, you have to copy the Google Colab file to your drive, and then you can start work on your copied file. Don't try to change anything in this file because it will going to get removed after some time. Any doubt? You can do on your phone as well. You can do on your phone as well. Create a Google account and open your Google Colab part, Google Colab application. You can do on your that as well. But for the development, you need to have a laptop or your desktop. Is this clear? Deadline is 1 week from today. Deadline is 1 week from today. Any more doubts? I've already answered most of your question. You are repeating those. Any more doubts? Yes, you can go ahead with creating a linear regression model. Not an issue. Go ahead with creating a linear regression model, but perform data analysis thoroughly. Any more doubts? Already shared the link with you. Dataset link is already been mentioned over here. See, this is your dataset link. This is a dataset link. It will going to redirect you to this dataset. Okay, perfect. Let me ping the link again. So here you go. So this is your collab link. Kindly make a copy first and then try to edit. No, you don't have to make a project that I have made yesterday. So currently you are having a different data set. So you have to follow according to that particular data set. Okay, you can take the reference from what we have done yesterday, but your project will be absolutely different. I've already told you I want a single text box for the area, and for other variables it will going to be the drop down. Is this clear? Any more doubts, guys? Any more doubts, guys? Are you guys having any more doubts? If you want, you can take the reference from the previous videos, right? So previous bootcamp videos has already been uploaded on YouTube. You can go on and take the reference from there as well. Is this clear? Attendance has already been shared with you. Project is necessary for certificate. Project is necessary for certificate and 100% attendance as well. Perfect. You have to search that. You have to search that how you can convert last column into the numbers and question data set. You can very basic, you can set variables with some kind of value. Let's say furnished, you say 0, and semi-furnished, you say 1, and unfurnished, you can say 2. With that, you can do that. Either you can go with for loop, that's a very basic format, or if you know pandas, or if you can try to learn some function of panda, it could be done instantaneously. Attendance link has already been shared with all of you. You will going to have 1 week. You will going to have 1 week, okay, to submit the project. Okay, let me provide this to again you. Yes, you don't need to create a website using Flask. Over here you can see there's one section that states that you need to provide the web application URL. You need to create, because this entire bootcamp is about Flask only. It is not about Python. It was not about machine learning. It was deployment of the machine learning model to the cloud, right? So you need to provide the Flask. So if you are thinking that I am going to do the analysis, I'm going to copy from internet, I'm going to do the analysis, I'm going to put the link, and I will be getting the certificate. So this thing will not going to happen. We are going to verify each and everything. So you need to provide your web application link, this link, okay? A fully functional link should be provided. We are going to verify, then only you will be going to get the certificate. So don't think that if you provide any random over here or anything over here in a Google Colab and you're not creating any web application, so you won't be provided with any certificate, please. Okay, is this clear? I have already discussed what to do in project. Kindly rewind it back and see what we have discussed. Okay, above 75%, let's say, let's have a barrier above 70 to 75%, we are accepting the accuracy, right? Below that, if you are getting below that, then try to find out to do some hyper parameter tuning to raise the accuracy at least to 70. So in that case, we are going to accept that, right? It's a very basic data set, right? So definitely you will be getting accuracy somewhere between 80 to 85 or 90 as well. So don't worry about that. So here is your file. Okay, yes, of course you can go ahead and do your creativity for the front end. If you want to create a style form, you can do that. I would love to see your creativity in that. Okay, so you are the master of your project. I have already told you what are the basic requirement that I want from your end. If you want to design anything from the front end or back end, totally up to you. You are most welcome to do that. Is this clear? It is clear. So this is the last time I'm sharing you the link. This is the last time I'm sharing you the link. Okay. And the submission date is next week. Let's say next week, Saturday midnight. Saturday midnight is the last, will be the last day and time so that you can submit your project. Yes, you can create any project, even though if you want to deploy it on Python anywhere or different resources, cloud resources, you can go go with that as well. Okay, there is no restriction that you have to go with Heroku itself, right? So I think that's the end of the session. Thank you so much, guys, for bearing with us for the entire 7 day. And I wish you all the best and wish you luck so that in future as well you will be getting a lot of knowledge. If you guys want to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Let me provide my LinkedIn ID over here. So if anyone wants to connect with me, they can do that as well. Okay. Perfect. All the best and best of luck to all of you. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your evening. And in the upcoming time, we're going to bring some more interesting boot camps for you. So stay tuned with us. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. See you all guys soon. Thank you so much. Bye. Ben, be safe.